In the depths of the Great Depression, a man in a wheelchair rolled into the White House and transformed America forever. Franklin Delano Roosevelt's legacy stretches across the American landscape like a tapestry of hope, reform, and perseverance. Picture a nation on its knees. 1933, banks failing by the thousands, unemployment reaching 25%, breadlines stretching for blocks. Into this crisis steps FDR, his confident voice crackling through radios across the country. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Those weren't just words. Within his first 100 days, Roosevelt launched an unprecedented wave of legislation and government programs that would fundamentally reshape American society. The landscape we see today was literally built by his initiatives. Those majestic stone lodges in our national parks, built by the Civilian Conservation Corps. The towering Hoover Dam, a public works administration project. The stunning murals in post offices across America, created by artists employed by the Works Progress Administration. But Roosevelt's legacy runs deeper than concrete and steel. Social Security, perhaps his most enduring achievement, transformed the concept of retirement in America. Before this program, growing old often meant falling into poverty. Today, imagine driving through any American town. You'll see senior citizens living independently, shopping in stores, enjoying their golden years with dignity. That's the Roosevelt legacy in action. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, another Roosevelt creation, still protects every American's bank deposits. When you walk into a bank today and see that FDIC insured sign, you're looking at FDR's handiwork. The wild speculation that led to the 1929 crash was tamed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, another Roosevelt innovation that continues to police Wall Street. But Roosevelt's impact wasn't just domestic. As storm clouds gathered over Europe and Asia in the late 1930s, he began preparing America for its role as a global superpower. The Lend-Lease program, sending vital supplies to Britain in its darkest hour, marked America's emergence as the arsenal of democracy. December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. Roosevelt's voice again unified the nation after Pearl Harbor. His leadership during World War II was transformative. Under his guidance, America became not just a military superpower, but an industrial giant. Women entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers. African Americans began their long march toward civil rights, and the American economy finally escaped the Depression's shadow. Look at the United Nations headquarters in New York City. Another Roosevelt legacy. He envisioned a post-war world order based on international cooperation, even though he wouldn't live to see it completed. His wife Eleanor would carry that torch forward, helping craft the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The rural American landscape was transformed by Roosevelt's Rural Electrification Administration. Drive through farm country today, and you'll see power lines stretching to every home. A direct result of his belief that electricity wasn't a luxury, but a right. Before Roosevelt, only 10% of rural Americans had electricity. By 1945, that number had skyrocketed to 90%. Even the rhythms of American politics still beat to Roosevelt's tempo. The first 100 days of any presidency are still measured against his standard. The Democratic Party's coalition of urban workers, minorities, and progressives? That's Roosevelt's creation. The expectation that government should play an active role in citizens' economic security? Pure FDR. His leadership style revolutionized presidential communication. Those fireside chats, intimate radio conversations with the American people, created a model of presidential communication that continues through today's social media era. He understood that leadership wasn't just about policies, but about connecting with people. Walk through any American city today, and you'll find Roosevelt's fingerprints everywhere. The minimum wage that helps workers make ends meet? Roosevelt. The collective bargaining rights that built America's middle class? Roosevelt again. The idea that government should be a force for positive change in people's lives? That's the essence of the Roosevelt legacy. But perhaps his greatest legacy was more intangible. Hope. In America's darkest hours, Roosevelt showed that democracy could solve big problems, that government could be a force for good, that America could overcome any challenge through unity and shared purpose. As we face modern challenges, climate change, economic inequality, global instability, Roosevelt's legacy offers a blueprint. He showed that America can reinvent itself, that crisis can breed innovation, that bold action in service of the common good isn't just possible, it's essential. The wheelchair-bound man who lifted a nation from its knees never stood physically tall, but his shadow still looms large over American life. Every social security check, every protected bank deposit, every rural power line, every minimum wage job, these are all threads in the tapestry of Roosevelt's America. His cousin Theodore may have his face on Mount Rushmore, but Franklin Roosevelt's monument is America itself, its institutions, its safety net, its role in the world, and most importantly, its enduring belief that government of the people, by the people, and for the people can make life better for all Americans. That's the Roosevelt legacy. Not just programs and policies, but a fundamental reimagining of what America could be, and what it still can be when faced with great challenges. In times of crisis, we still look back to his example, finding in his leadership lessons for today and hope for tomorrow.